So welcome to Valentine's Day and to this edition of Tejano Virtual Events. Today we're going to have a great presentation. I say that because I love libraries, and so I'm going to give you a presentation about the EPCC libraries. We have a wonderful collection of books and resources online, so I'm going to share a little bit about that to you today, and I'm hoping that you'll learn some new things. And if you have any questions all through this whole time, please stop me and ask me a question as we're talking about it, so that way you can get the information right there and then. So go ahead, and if you wouldn't mind just muting your mics, sit back and relax. And again, if you have any questions, raise your hand, or down at the bottom in the chat, you can go ahead and put a question for me and I'll answer it throughout. But basically what we're going to do today is go over all the different services you have through the libraries, where the libraries are, and hopefully we're going to start with a little bit of a trivia question. See if y'all can answer this question. How many of you, I'm going to put this in the chat, in the poll, think that there are more public libraries than Starbucks? So I'm going to put the question there in the poll, and I'll send it down to you. I'll say, are there more public libraries than Starbucks? Put that down there. So just go ahead and answer what you think is the correct answer. And I love both. I love public libraries and Starbucks. I'll give you another couple seconds just to keep answering. So far, Starbucks is winning. And I have to agree, there seems to be a lot of Starbucks on every single corner, every place you go. But the true answer is that there are more public libraries than Starbucks, which is a good thing. I'm sure they're catching up. Right now in the United States, public libraries are 17,278 public libraries, but there's 16,428 Starbucks. So I think what we should do is, put a push to put Starbucks in every public library, and we can just have an equal amount. So I think that would be a good option right there. So thanks for answering the poll. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera so I can go ahead and keep going with our presentation. So again, I'm going to be talking to you all about our library. So if you're not familiar with the EPCC libraries, you've never really visited our page, you're not quite sure where to go, I'm going to show you how you can get to us. So there's a couple of ways you can do that. So number one, if you just start off at the EPCC searching page, just like this, you can go over to the menu. And we are one of your resources. So you'll see resources and services here. If you click that little plus, that's where you're going to find the libraries. You can also, on any EPCC page, just go straight down to the bottom. Just keep scrolling down past all of the other things we have on there, and you'll see libraries down here at the bottom. So that way you can just go straight into us. And another way, and I'm going to put this in the chat, is you can just go straight to our website. So we do have a website that you can just go straight to. And it's just epcc.edu/services/libraries, and then you would be able to just go straight into the library page. So as I'm going down here, how many libraries do you think EPCC does? And you can just throw that in the chat box. How many libraries do you think there are at EPCC? I'm going to scroll up so you can't cheat. Awesome. I see 5. Yeah, at all the campuses. That's actually correct. So we have a library for you at every single one of our campuses. So we have Mission Del Paso, we have the Northwest, we have the Rio Grande, we have Trans Mountain and Valle Verde. So you'll see right over here on the right-hand side, it says campus libraries. So if you click on each one of these, it will give you their location. It tells you their phone number, their email, and it gives you any social media that they have, as well as their hours. So if you're interested, let's just say you want to go over to Mission, you live out there on the far east side, and it's closer than coming to where you go to class. Let's say you take classes at Valle Verde, you can go to any library. It doesn't matter which campus you attend classes, you're part of EPCC. So you're more than welcome to go to any of our libraries. And so they're listed down here. Mission is all the way out there on the far east side. Northwest is all the way on the far west side. So we're on both sides of town. So this one's over there by like the outlet malls, going into like towards New Mexico. Rio Grande, that's where I'm at. My name's Kristen Sanchez. I'm at the Rio Grande campus. It would be nice to introduce myself, right? I'm at the downtown library. So it's kind of like in the middle of downtown area where we have all the health programs at that campus. We have the Trans Mountain Library, which is off of like US 54 going towards the northeast part of town. And of course, we have the Valle Verde Library, which is our largest campus, which is located kind of more central over there by like Silla Vista Mall, the Fountains of Farah. It's in that area. So those are the 5 different campuses. But it doesn't matter going to the physical library. You can also get help um, online as well. And Norma, who is our head librarian at Mission Campus, says, yes, we also have something called the Culinary Resource Center. So it's actually called a resource center. It's at the ASC, which is our main administrative offices on Viscount, behind the Fountains of Farah. And that's where our offices are. And so they have a resource center which has some materials for people who attend classes there. So like culinary arts, massage therapy, things like that. Those programs are there, cosmetology. So you can use the resources there as well. So as we are looking to go online as well, we have reference services that you can get help with where you see Get Connected right here. So if you click on that Get Connected, what it does is it opens you to our hours, which are 24 hours a day. So we have EPCC librarians covering chat services during the day while we're open. And usually during the week, that's from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Thursday. 8 to 5 on Fridays, and then Saturdays, Sundays, 9 to 3. But after those hours are over, people from around the US and from around the world start taking over our questions. So if you come in, let's say we just closed at 8 and you come in at 8:30, maybe somebody in California is going to answer your question because they're still open because their hours are different. They have a different time zone. And then after they close, then you might start getting people helping you from England. But there's going to be someone around the clock that can help you answer your questions. So I think it's kind of cool. So if you click on Connect Now, what it does is it actually opens you to a welcome to the lib chat where you can put your information, your contact, and then you ask your question. And then a librarian will come in and start talking to you about your topic or whatever it is you need help with and help you that way. So that's what happens when you come into our page and go to Get Connected to get some help right there. Okay. So as we're going down here, you start seeing some other things on our page. And so the first thing you see is something called the APSCO Discovery Service. So what that is a place where you can come and you can put a search. You can look for books, you can look for articles, you can see if we have DVDs, and you can see if that's something we own here at EPCC. So let's just say I want to look up my career and maybe I'm looking to be a chef. We're talking about culinary arts and it is Valentine's Day, so we're going to talk about food. So I'm going to click on here and put search. So what happens is it's looking to see everything that we own, newspapers, magazines, journals, we have books, we have online books, and it's looking to see what matches the word chef. So if you see up here at the top, you get some things that help you. So there's something called a research starter, and basically what that is to give you a little information about the words you put in that search box. So I put the word chef, and so when I click read more, what happens is it gives me information about chef. Tells me how much I can earn, what type of interest you should have, if there's a good outlook for employment, what kind of degrees do you need, training, etc. It gives you a lot of great information before you even jump into reading books and articles. It's always a good thing to do when you are just learning about a new topic, is to read about it a little bit. You can search on Google, you can look in books, you can do all sorts of stuff. And this gives you a little bit of knowledge before you jump in trying to see additional information. Okay, so I go back to that main page I also have something from another database called Credo Reference, which is basically the same thing. It's giving you background information on your topic. So if I want to see it, I can click here where it says to see the results down here. And if you ever used our EBSCO Discovery Service before, it has changed as of this semester. It looks totally different. So that's why I'm showing you a little bit more detail, because some of you may not be familiar with it. So this one is Credo Reference. It's one of our databases that we have. And what's real nice about it is it gives you different things about the word chef from encyclopedias. Like this one is coming from the Oxford Companion to Food. This is talking about female chefs, so it's coming from the Encyclopedia of Women in Today's World, the Companion to Sugar and Sweets. So it's coming from a lot of different resources. It gives you a lot of great information. All you have to do is click on any of these to read them. And then off to the right-hand side, it gives you additional things that you can break your topic out into. So let's just say my topic is chef, but that's really big. That's a big topic. I can narrow it down if I want to talk about maybe being in the French cuisine, or I want to be a pastry chef, or I want to look at people who are chefs. It gives you some options that you can then look at and narrow down your topic a little bit more. Like if I say pastry chef, then it pulls up pastry chef information, and then you can break it down into that. Okay, so that's what happens when you start doing your searches using the EBSCO Discovery Service. Is it gets you started by giving you a little bit more information about your topic. As you go down, then you'll start seeing some resources that we have at the library, books and articles on your topic as well. And if you're looking for a specific type of source, up here at the top are words called limiters. This helps you limit your search to date, to type of resource. So if I click on source type, it says what kind of sources are you looking for, gives me a few options, and then there's more. And then I say, well, maybe I just want books. Maybe I just want ebooks, or maybe I want articles. So you can choose from any of those. I'm just going to leave it open so we can just show you what we have. So as you go down here, you'll see it has the book. It has a little bit about it and where it's located, which campus, because again, we have 5 campuses and a resource center. So if you look here under location, it says Rio Grande has the call number and tells you its status. So right now that book is just now here. It's a 2025 book. So right now it's in process. That means it's getting put into the system. It's getting its labels and markings put on it. And then pretty soon it'll be here at the Rio Grande campus. Okay. As you go down, you might come across some that are electronic books. You might come across some that are videos. So see, like this one says it's a video. It's located at Mission Del Paso. So let's just say I go to class at Vallaverde and I'd really like to see this video. What can I do? So what you can do is you can go to our reference desk, or you can go to where you check out your books, and you can ask if we can bring that over to your campus. So what you can do is we'll fill out a little form. We'll call the library that has it. So we'll call Mission and ask them if they can send it to your campus. Let's say it's Vallaverde. And then in a few days, hopefully it'll be there ready for you to check it out. So if you say, I live next to Mission and I'd like to pick it up on my way home instead, we'll call them and ask them to hold it for you, and they'll hold it for you under your name. And when you get to Mission, it'll be ready for you. That way it doesn't get checked out before you get there. So those are a couple of services we offer to you. So as you go down, you'll see there's all sorts of different things. Let's just say I want to see an ebook. So I'm going to check mark the box here that says ebooks and apply. So you'll start seeing electronic resources pop up. So I'm going to go ahead and click here where it says Mastering Chef. Okay, I'm going to click on the title. It opens it up to just give me a little more information, like the author's name, the date it was published. And right here under Access Options, you can see I can retrieve it or access it. So I just click on Access this resource, and it's going to open up my ebook. And there it is. And I can just click here on PDF full text. And it gives you the option to download it, kind of like Netflix has you do it for the videos that they offer on Netflix. You can download and use them like on the airplane without internet or wherever you are. But you don't have to download it unless you're planning to take it with you somewhere and you want to read the entire book. You can just read it like this on the computer, and you can just go page to page like this. Or you can jump ahead by chapter on the right-hand side over here where it has all the little chapters listed. You can jump ahead, like I want to go to cookbooks, and then you jump ahead in there. So this is how you can use this to find ebooks. So let's just say I want to find an article. Maybe I just want to find something on my topic in a magazine or a journal or something like that. What happens is it'll look for it, and I can just click on the one I want to read. So it says chef to chef. If I want to look it, I can click here, or I can just click on Access Now. And there's my article. So it has all sorts of little buttons at the top. This is where you can download, you can print, you can save. It also has citation helpers. When you click on citation helps, it kind of shows you how to do it MLA or APA style. And it's computer generated, so sometimes there's some things on there that are added, not put there like it should be. So I always recommend that you go ahead and try uh, editing it, look at it, and you can copy and paste it, but make sure it's correct and make any changes, like if the capitals are not correct or it needs to be underlined or anything like that. Always make sure you review it before you use it in a class. And we have helpful handouts for that, as well as there's writing centers on each campus that can help you with your citations and things. So it's a lot. Is there any questions? I'd be happy to answer any questions as we go along. Okay, so that's how you use this EBSCO Discovery Service. It's really a nice tool. It's located right here on the main page. Just put your words in there and go and see what you can find. As you go down the page now, you're going to see that there's a lot more different tools that we offer here under what's called resources. So under resources, if you say, I just want a book, I don't want to mess with anything else, I just want something plain and simple, you can go here to the catalog. It says classic catalog. This is kind of like the old school look, right? But it has some neat things over here to the side. So let's say you checked out a book and you want to know what books you have out, and you can actually renew it online. You click here where it says view your patron record. So you click it, it's going to put your name, put your ID number and submit, and you'll be able to see what books you have checked out, and you can renew them, or you can see just to see what date they're due. So that's here on that classic catalog. You can also see if your class has any reserve items. You can come here where it says course reserves, and that's where you can put it in by class, or you can put it in by your instructor. So let's just say I want to see what my English 1302 class has on reserve, and then it gives you which campus. So let's just say here at Valle Verde what they have, and they have the instructors' names, and then they have whatever they have on reserve. And reserve usually means that you can use the materials there on campus. Most of the time they don't check out, just depends on what the instructor wants. Sometimes they may say yes overnight or something, but most of the times you use it there on campus because it's the instructor's copy of the book. So usually we'll hold it there at the campus behind the counter. You just ask for it and you can use it there in the library and then just turn it in. It doesn't go outside the library usually. So this is how you can find all these informations. Plus, you're always welcome just to come ask us. That's why we're there at the reference desk. You can just come ask us for help and we'll help find out if we own something in our library for you. So let's just say here, I just want to look at a word, drone, see if we have any books on the word drone. And it shows you what we have. We have an electronic book. It has the picture of like an old diskette. That's an electronic book. And then we also have books in different libraries like Mission, Trans Mountain, Rio Verde. Tells you where it's located and if it's available. And if it's available and you want to check it out, all you need is your student ID. You just take that with the book to the desk and they will check it out for you. Again, if it's an ebook, you just click on it and you can use it online. You'll just have to enter your My EPCC login and password. Okay, so that's how you use our systems. All right, so we're back on the main resource page. So I want to show you, I've been talking about ebooks. We actually have a lot of great ebook collections, and it's all on this one tab here. So you can find them in the catalog, but you can find even more by going right here where it has ebook collections. So we have them by category. So you'll see Bloom's literary criticism. That's good if you're in, like, say, an English class and you have to write about your topic, whatever it might be regarding, whatever book it is you're reading in English or story. You can come here and there's always going to be some kind of a search box. You see it up here at the top. And then there's just a listing of all the different books that they have available down here. So you can search by subject, or you can search by your keywords up here. And then again, you just click on it and it opens up that book and you can read it here. So this is like for an English class, let's just say, that you can use these criticism books. And it gives you a little description next to it so you know what you're looking at. Another one I wanted to show you is right here. So a lot of people love graphic novels. I don't know if you do, but a lot of people love graphic novels. And so we actually have an entire collection of graphic novels. And so when you come here, first of all, you got to make an account. So here's the place where you go to create an account. And then once you do that, once you create an account, you can go ahead and sign in. So I have it here to log in. And then I go ahead and I put my information that I've already created my account. And then that opens you up to reading hundreds and hundreds of graphic novels. And people love these books. And you have all sorts of things, including a search box where you can find out if you own a certain title through this database. So if you go down here, I'll like Powerpuff Girls. Who doesn't love the Powerpuff Girls? So I'm going to click here on Read Now. And it opens it up here. It's just taking a minute. It's got to get through my internet. And so as I'm talking about ebooks, while this is waiting to load, I may have to get off of it if it doesn't load. How many ebooks do you think we have at all the libraries, all online? Every library has access to the same ebooks. How many ebooks do you think EPCC has? Go ahead and put it down in the chat box while we're waiting. Getting closer. Getting closer. We have, there you go, 50,000. We have 710,899 books as of last year. So I can imagine we probably have even more. 710,000. And so they're all sitting right here for you in all these databases that I'm showing you right here. I'm sorry I couldn't show you the book, but I don't want it to take up your time. We'll have to try it again, but it's really cool. It opens up the novel. You can turn pages and look on it. Maybe your internet's not as unhappy as mine is right now. So you try it out later at home. Just go here after you make your account, you log in, and you'll be able to see those graphic novels. Okay. Something else we have that I think is a really nice addition is the Salem Press. So the Salem Press down at the bottom, I love this collection because it has different categories such as careers. So if you want to look at all the different careers available to you, you can come here and look at all of the different books: archaeology, chemistry, engineering, gaming, if you like to fish. They have medical, nursing, social media careers. Let's click on that, see what kind of careers I can have in social media. And when you open up the book, what you do is you see all the different things that come up here. And let's just say I wanted to be a photographer. I can click on that. And then again, it shows me like what we saw earlier for chef. It shows me, an overview, what kind of environment I'll be doing, what are some specialties you can get into, what kind of environment will you work in, and then what kind of classes should you take, etc. So there's all sorts of neat stuff on here to show you about your career. Also under here, you'll see under health, we have all sorts of books like such as alternative medicine, men's health, mental health, addictions, women's health. We have science that gets into all the different sciences like climate change, anatomy, cybersecurity, geology, etc. Then we have history type topics where you're talking about the states, the presidents, all the different countries and cultures, the different decades. So if you have to do something about the decade you were born, or if you want to look at some documents through history. And then we have an entire category of literature, all the different authors, criticisms about them, as well as a lot of criticisms about different themes that you see inside of your stories, etc. So there's a lot of nice books, and these are all books. When you click on it, it actually opens a book, and you see it the cover page over here, and you'll see all the different subjects down the middle. And again, you click on it, and it opens it up. It might have photos, it might have some charts, but usually it has a lot of good information on here. So y'all have any questions for me so far? We're doing okay? Yeah, munching on your chocolate while you're listening, hopefully. Okay. So as we go down here on this resources, we're right here and it says we have online databases. So this is the meat of what we own here at the libraries. Ooh, drinking coffee and eating a muffin, that sounds good. It's kind of chilly outside, or is it nice? Hopefully it's nice because I'm going to have a nice weekend. Woo-hoo. So under online databases, what those are magazines, journals, and newspapers. And we have a lot of magazines, journals, and newspapers. We have over 77,000 online articles or online magazines, journals, and newspapers. So I'm going to click in here and show you how you can access some of this nice stuff that we have here at the library. So you see when I clicked on it, it takes me to a page that has a bunch of different subjects. So one is general. So if you have no idea where to go, I don't even know where to start. Well, you can start with that EBSCO Discovery Service I showed you earlier, or you can go where it says general, because general covers everything from anatomy all the way to the zoo. So A to Z, you can get into any of these databases and they will help you. And each one tells you what they're about, okay, what they have on them. And you see it keeps popping up this little chat box to the side. So if at any time you have trouble, you can click chat now and it'll open up so you can chat with a librarian. Like you get here and you get lost, just click on that and it'll help you find what kind of things we have to offer. Okay. As we go around, we can go here and look at the different subjects. I'm going to start with controversial. A lot of times you have to do papers where it's like pros and cons about your topic. This is a good place to go. Or if you're not sure what topic to do, it's another good place to go because it shows you a lot of different topics that are available. So the one I like to show is opposing viewpoints. You're going to click on that, and as soon as you do, if you haven't logged in, it'll make you log in to myepcc.edu, that usual login you have. And then what it does, it opens you here where you have a search box. It has some common topics right here on the front. Or you can go here where it has a little light bulb where you can browse the issues. I love to browse. So I click here on Browse Issues. And as you go down, here's a lot of topics. So if you have no idea what you want to write about, this is a good place to go. Even if you're not writing about a controversial issue, you're just writing about an informational topic, this might give you some ideas to choose from. So you'll see that some of them say that they've been updated. See, like drugs and athletes, that's been updated. Or you can just choose any of the topics that might be of interest to you. So like a lot of things were swirling around with TikTok recently. I love my TikTok. But as you go down here on the side, here's one that's on TikTok. You just click on it and it gives you an overview. Remember that background information where you try to find out what a topic is about? That's what this paragraph here is. And if you want to read the entire thing, you click and it gives you some background about it, how it's popular, why are they trying to censor it, and the impact. I heard TikTok's back on the App Store now, so if you have to update your phone, might be a good time to do it and get that TikTok back on there if you're interested. So I go back a step, go down a little bit. Here's some featured viewpoints, academic journals, and they're all about that same topic. So you'll see here in the middle, it says how many articles. There's 24 articles in journals, 164 in magazines, there's 64 videos. So you can see all of those down here. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop to find information on your topic. So this is opposing viewpoints. It's under that controversial tab. I'm going to go ahead and just close that out and get back to my online databases. And then I'm going to show you under literature, because that's another big one for most of us. We go to literature a lot to find things about our research for English or whatever it is. So you have all these different resources. These are all good for English topics. One of the biggies is this Gale literature right here. And if you understand the databases, basically all you have to do is click on them and log in, and you look for that search box and put your words in there, and then there's going to be little check boxes to help you limit to dates or limit to type of sources you want. But they all basically work the same. They just look a little different. So I'm hoping Gale is another. It's going to open up for us because it's kind of slow. There we go. So you see here, and you have a search box. You have all sorts of choices to make. You don't even know which ones you want. So I'm just going to leave it as I want to look at Kate Chopin to see anything about her. You can change these, like I want to know her about her or works that she did. But I'm just going to leave it as a basic search to start with and keep it simple. And then it opens up, and you'll see it opens and shows you criticisms, it shows you biographies, some of her topics and work overviews, and some primary sources in case somebody asks for that. Over here on the right, you see there's a photo, and here's all those limiters. And then you'll see here, these are some of those tools. So when you click on any of these, you're going to have those tools like the other database did, where you can cite it, you can download it, you can print it. So we have all those kinds of tools. They just may look different, like it has like the little printer icon or the little paper airplane to send it to your email and things. Just again, for citing, make sure you check that the citation's correct, because sometimes they're not, because it's computer generated. But here's your information. Used to have to do this in books, and now we have them online. So it offers a lot of good help that you can do 24 hours a day. You can get into our online system 24 hours a day. All righty. So that's literature. And again, stop me if you have questions. So as we're going through, I want to break it up a little bit and tell you another trivia question. When did the first public library open in El Paso? The first public library. Does anybody know? Not the building, but the actual library itself. There's a library person that started it as a little collection. What year did that person start? We have some librarians in here. Let's see if we get some answers as to when the first collection of books was put together to use as a library here in El Paso. Awesome. Yeah, so we're starting to see those come in. So correct, keep going. So 1894 is actually correct. So there was a person here called Mary Stanton, and she put together all her private collection of 600 to 800 books. She had a huge collection. She put them together so her students, she was a teacher, so her students could look at them. And she put them together in a building, and all her students were boys. So all these boys would read these books, but then all the ladies said, hey, I'm interested in reading the books too. So in 1895, they opened it up so women could come in too and start reading the books. And they had to pay, I think, 50 cents to be a member, something like that. And then a man came to town. His name was Andrew Carnegie, and he opened up a physical library. And I'm going to hopefully show you a picture later on of what the El Paso Public Library looked like. Let's go ahead and get on there. I just want to show you. We had a really fantastic looking library back in 1904, so that answer was actually correct too. This is what it looked like back in 1904 in the same area where it is now downtown. That building used to be there. It was a really beautiful library, and it opened up in 1904. He was opening libraries all over the United States. He was very wealthy, this Andrew Carnegie, and so we had a Carnegie Library here in El Paso. They brought one to El Paso, and so that was in 1904. And then in the 1950s, that's when they built the downtown library that's there now. That's in 1954 is when that one opened. And we are the longest continuously active public library system in Texas. So not bad for El Paso right there. Okay, get back on target. Sorry, I like history, so I might throw in some more history stuff. All right, so I showed you controversial issues, and then I showed you literature. Another thing that we have that I think is kind of neat is our newspapers. So talking about history, we actually have the El Paso Times and El Paso Herald Post going back to 1881. So you'll see here where you can click on it, says you what years we have. So you can actually click on that and search the El Paso Times and Herald Post, even up to a week ago. So it takes about 6 days for the current stuff to get in there. But if you look on here, you can just search. Like if you want to say, I want to look at the alligators and the plaza, it's looking only at El Paso papers. So when I put that information in there, you'll see I'm getting things from 1999, 1986, 2011, 1977. So you can click on any of these articles and it'll pop up the newspaper. And it has photos. It looks just like it did in the newspaper. So it's kind of neat if you like to do research or you have to find out something for history class. This is a great database that we own, these historic newspapers. Okay. And then if you want to just find out some other historical things here, you can come here to the America's Historical Newspapers. It goes back to 1690. We also have world news, which is contemporary news. So it's the news that's happening right now. If you click on Access World News, it's really nice. It gives you a lot of current topics that are going on. So like hot issues here. You want something about careers or business, criminal justice, education, people, etc. All these are great topics that you can look, or you can just do a search in the search box and find newspaper articles that way. And we also have videos. So clicking over here on our videos, we have a great database of videos here. They all offer different things. Like these are behavioral mental health. These are all basically like science type topics. And then you have this one called Canopy. This one offers like a little bit more documentary or popular movies. So you'll see here all the different things it's highlighting right now for Black History Month. There's some new releases. And then you can just kind of go down and you can just find one of the movies you want to watch and click on it, and then it'll open up and start showing the movie. So we'll see if there's something we can click on. Let's see what we've got here. Let's say I click here. So you see when I click on it, you can play, talking about graffiti art, but you can download, or not download, I mean, you can open this at home. You can open it on your phone, and there's your movie. So not bad. Access to all of this. Okay, so those are some videos. Under alphabetical listing, so I showed you all these little categories here. I mean, they're still science, humanities, history, but you have an alphabetical listing. And under alphabetical listing are some other really kind of fun things. Like we have Chiltons. So if you work on cars, Chiltons are like automotive manuals that you can get into, and you can choose by car make, model, year, and it will give you like information about your vehicle and repairing it. So that's Chilton's manual. I'm sorry, it's been kind of slow today on the internet. So I'm going to move on. We also have hobbies and crafts. So if you want to look and see about, yeah, I guess it's just kind of slow everywhere. Everybody's on there for Valentine's Day writing to people. So hobbies and crafts like rocks, minerals, and gems, cooking, holiday crafts. See, Valentine's Day, can get on here and look at some different crafts like making cards or an album, decorating a cake. So all of this is available to you. Just got to find it, right? So we need to know we have it. So right here it says home improvement. So if you got to do some repairs, we also have a database that has good stuff for repairs. So see, depending on what it is that you're doing, you have all these different topics you can look at. Let's say plumbing, home plumbing, outdoor plumbing, etc. Got some things here. Okay. And something else that I think is kind of fun, again, I like history, right? We have like Time Magazine, the archive back to 1923. We have National Geographic back to 1888. We have Life Magazine back to 1936. So if you click on these, like this is National Geographic Magazine, it'll open up a search box and you can put your topic. So who knows what the style of architecture is at UTEP? Who knows what country they modeled it after? Put in your little chat box. Yeah, Bhutan. And do you know where they got it from? They got it from the National Geographic. So in the National Geographic back in, I think it was 1914, the person who was the dean over at Texas Western College, whatever it was called, I believe at the time, was looking at the newest National Geographic in 1914. And they had an article called Castles in the Air. See, it says April 1914. And they looked at it and they said, hey, I like that. I think we should do that. And of course, her husband was the dean in charge at the time. And so she read this article. And as you go through it, look at that. Look at the buildings. Looks just like if you're looking at UTEP sitting up there on the mountain. And so that's where she got it from. So it's kind of cool that you have access to read the article that she read. And plus they have others that have come out since about Bhutan. So when I put in the word, it just pulled up everything they've ever done. So kind of like a revisiting Kingdom in the Clouds, they call it on the one from 1991. But you have access to all of this. Okay. So one last stop we're going to make today while I'm showing you things is going to be under career and testing. This one I think is one of our best databases that we have to offer, and I want to show it to you. It's called Career and Testing. And under here, you're going to find something called Learning Express. Learning Express has so much to offer you, no matter what class you are in. If you have brothers, sisters, kids, parents, it has something for everybody. So inside of here, it has all of these different centers is what they're called. So if you're in grades 3 through 8, you're in high school, you're in college, you like Spanish, you want to take computer skills classes, you have actually access to all of this, even to help you make a resume and search for a job. So you have access to all of these tools. I'm going to show you a couple of them. So Career Center Plus helps you prepare for exams. So if you have to take a nursing exam or something in the law enforcement field, or you're going into cosmetology, or you want a commercial driver's license, you have access to all of these exams. If I want like an allied health exam, you have to take the TEAS test. So it has some study guides here for the TEAS test. Or if you're in dental or medical assisting or occupational therapy assistant, which is coming soon, hopefully soon, respiratory, radiologic, physical therapy, all of these are available to you. on here, and you can take the practice exams. And what's kind of neat about these practice exams, and they have them for GED, they have them for a lot of different things, is you can take the exam and it will help you see where you're weak. So first thing you have to do in order to see it, you see how it says sign in or register? You have to sign in. So you can make an account. If you don't have one, it clicks on register and you make the account. Or I already have one. Hopefully I can remember my, it always takes me a second. Everybody, like we all have all these different passwords. I'll get it. Hold on. Hallelujah. And I'm in. And it says to start the test. And it gives you 3 ways that you can take the test. Number 1, it's just like if you're in the testing situation, let's say you're going to be a physical therapy assistant, it's 150 minutes long or 150 questions long, and you have 180 minutes, which is 3 hours. It starts the clock. When the clock's up, it's over. That's simulation mode. Practice mode is the clock will run, but it's not going to stop you if you go over the time. It lets you keep going so you can finish. And then there's learner mode, which the one I kind of like is it lets you view the answers as you go along so you can study. So you start the test, it asks you a question and you can answer it right there. Say PTA is treating a patient who is 3 days post-op from a left anterior cruciate ligament reconstruction. What treatment goal is most important? I am going to say I am going to normalize gait. Check my answer. And that's why I'm a librarian and not a physical therapist assistant. It says my answer is incorrect. That's later, and it shows you with a green check mark which one is the correct answer. So if you're studying, this is helpful because you can see questions and how you're doing. And then when you're done, you can score your test. I'm going to score it even though I hardly answered anything. And it's going to show me the different categories on the test, and it's going to show me how many I got correct or incorrect or skipped and how I did. And then it makes recommendation to books or something that I can use to help me study. So it's really a great tool to use. So that's Career Center Plus. Job and Career Accelerator is where you can go to make a resume, to explore careers if you're not quite sure, and to search for jobs. So I'm going to click here where it says search for jobs. And as I do that, it's gonna pull up. You can look to see if you want to look for an internship also. They have internships and they have USA Job Search. So I'm going to launch that career tool for the USA Job Search. It's from Monster. And it lets me know what job are you looking for and in what city. So let's say I want to be a librarian and I want to go to San Diego. I want to get on the beach. Search jobs. And it shows that there's 122 jobs in San Diego. So you can see here, and it tells you that you can save the job listing or you can apply. So if you make a resume here, you can send it off when you apply because you already have a resume loaded here. So it's really a nice tool that it has to offer. And again, you have all sorts of centers. You may not remember which center to go to. You have a search box right here that you can put things here and search. Okay. If you need some helpful testing tools, so we have here, like, again, for grades 3 through 8, if you have kids or brothers and sisters, they have for elementary, they have math, reading, practice test, middle school, social studies, math, vocabulary, or maybe you just would like some practice on some of the different maths that there are out there. As you keep going, can go down. There's for high school level, they'll have the same thing, math, English, reading, as you go through all of these different things. And then some nice things are these college success skills. Helps you with like time management, some keyboarding skills, some professional personal success skills, classroom success, just to help you in your classes that you're in now. And then as you go down, there's adult skills such as math and reading, as well as if you need to take the citizenship test or you need to improve writing, speaking, and grammar. Computer, they have all the Microsoft Office tools and they have Adobe tools. So they have sorts of neat things. So it's a lot to offer. This database is really powerful, but it has a lot of nice tools on it. All righty. So we had a lot of questions today about different things in El Paso about our libraries. Those are the public libraries. We're an academic library. We support you in your classes. And all you have to do is get on chat or come into the library and we'd be glad to help you. So does anybody have questions about what I showed? I gave you like a library session in about 50 minutes. So it's a lot of information to take in, and I am going to put in the chat box right now our Tejano passport points. For coming to today's session, you get something called Tejano passport points where you can get points towards earning a medallion that you can wear at graduation by attending anything that offers these points. So all of our Tejano virtual events offer these. Every Friday at 1 o'clock, we have a Tejano virtual event. Any type of EPCC event, a lot of times they're offering Tejano passport points. Even going to different museums around town, they also offer some of those as well. So keep in mind, oh yeah, oh yeah, I can show you that. So if someone would like me to show you how to get back to the course reserves. So that's going back to the main page for the library, classic catalog. And then when you're here on the classic catalog, you can come over here on the side and it's got reserves. And you can look them up by instructor name. So like right now we saw Yasmin Ramirez. So I'm going to say Ramirez. And oh yeah, there she is. It has Vanessa Ramirez and it has Yasmin Ramirez. So you pick the one that's your instructor. And there you go. So VNA, do all the databases show the same books or do they only show up in certain databases? Very good question. So we own many different databases because each one owns different things. So when you go to our ebooks, each one has different books. So like this one has for literature. The EBSCO ebooks have all of the ones that we've bought from it's like Coke and Pepsi. So EBSCO is like Coke. It's like a brand. And they have a bunch of books that we buy. So they have the EBSCO books here. And ProQuest has their ProQuest books here. But we usually don't buy the same book on both of these. So they may offer some of the same books as EBSCO, but in general, we buy different books on ProQuest. Okay, so they'll have different books. Salem Press are books that we buy in print, and they also give us a free copy online. So that's why you see a whole listing of books because we own the print copy and they just happen to give us access online. So I would check, if you're doing a topic, you would check EBSCO and ProQuest and Salem, depending on what your topics are. Or if it's literature, you could go to Bloom's Literary. So very good questions. And again, one-on-one sessions we can have with you. If you come in the library and you're just lost, you don't know where to get started, come see us. We're here. All our hours, we're open. All libraries are open Monday through Friday, and some libraries are open Saturdays, and some are even, one is open on Sunday. So check our hours, which one is working the best for you. Okay, let me try putting that link again. Let me see if it's working. I got into it, so let me put it again. Maybe let me make sure I didn't mess up. So there's that link. Try it out again. See if you can get it. Yeah, give it a chance and see if it works. If not, you can email me and I'll put my information in the box. But I thank you all for coming. Next week we are going to have the Writing Center and CSD here. So come learn about the Centers for Students with Disabilities, what kind of services they offer for you, and you can come in every Friday at 1 to see a new session. But thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a fantastic Valentine's Day and a fantastic weekend. We need a little break this weekend. So come on in and see us if you ever need help. Thank you all.